Hey everyone, today we're talking about identifying and understanding the problem. This is a critical early part of the product development or software development lifecycle. Really making sure you're identifying the problems that exist out there, understanding them deeply, understanding how they prioritize relative to each other, kind of making sure you understand the problem space before you jump in and try and solve something. So that'll be the topic that we talk about today. And by the end of this, you'll really understand how to find those right problems for the business, how to understand the problems that exist and how to prioritize them for your specific business. And then we'll transition into the ways you can start ideating on solving those problems. So it's really your first big test is what I call it as a product manager is deciding what problem we solve. It sounds so simple, right? That there are just these easy to grasp problems out there in the business. It doesn't take much to see them. It doesn't take much to figure out how to solve them, but that's not true. There are so many different inputs to answer this question well. You need to consider the stage that your company's in. Is it new? Is it a startup? Has it been around 20 years and has thousands of people? You need to understand what's working in the product today and what's not. What's generating money for the business, what's losing money, what's new, what's old. You have to have all of that information. You also need to know just what does my company think about product and risk around product. Are they comfortable breaking things, trying things that have a 10% chance of working, like a Google or a Facebook, or are they more conservative? They expect development to happen on a certain time frame. They know what they need to build. They don't need kind of these massive, swing for the fences type of products. They really need dependable revenue. So two completely different worlds. You may be somewhere in between, but important to know. And then also important to know, what are my skill sets of my team? Can they even build this thing? Can they attack this problem? Are they excited about it? Ton of inputs with the team, with the personalities of the team and the skills of the team that should also go into determining what's the best problem or problems for us to attack. These are just a small kind of set of the ones we're going to cover today for really helping you continue to identify these problems and understand, which ones are the best fit for your team, your organization, for you, and beyond. So a lot to cover here. Sounds like such a simple question. Trust me, it's one of the most important ones, and it deserves a lot of thought and a lot of information. So we'll start here with a quote. So we're going to start with kind of quotes in each of these lessons. And so this one is from Walt Disney. The way to get started is to quit talking and start doing. It's interesting because I just told you need to collect a lot of information before you get started. But the spirit of this quote is, don't just kind of sit around and, wishfully think about, maybe we should do this or maybe we should do that. Just get out there, start collecting information from your company, from your customers, get moving. That's the way to get started. It's not about thinking how to get started. It's about actually doing it. So I love that quote from Walt Disney. And so I talked about one of the first things you should think about as you're thinking about what problems you should attack, or even finding the problems you should attack, is understanding more about your company. It's a little bit counterintuitive, but we're going to have to zoom out first, and we're going to look at just your company.